At 9 o'clock, the Tulsa Police Department is warning of a new scam that is targeting and exploiting teenagers. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shannon Brousseau.
I'm Brian Dorman. News on 6's Grant Stevens joins us now with everything we need to know tonight about this alarming scam. Grant?
Brian, Shannon, TPD says predators have been exploiting teenage boys, getting them to send nude photos, then threatening to release the pictures of the kids if they don't pay.
Lieutenant Joshua Showman with TPD's Sexual Predator Evidence Recovery Unit says he's seen a major escalation in these types of scams, with half a dozen victims in the last month alone.
We've seen victims as young as 8 years old of these kinds of scams.
Showman says older men, often overseas, pose as a young girl, then get into fake relationships with the boys. Once they've built trust, they ask for nude or embarrassing photos.
Generally, that's done in order for sexual gratification of the suspect. The new element here is the level of aggressiveness of our suspects in demanding payment. They're scaring these young kids. They're calling them in the middle of the night.
Showman says even after they've been paid, the scammers keep demanding more money, and oftentimes the photos are never erased.
It could end up somewhere else and circulate on the internet for years.
His advice to teens is to never send compromising photos in the first place, and to be extra cautious when talking to strangers online. Showman says at their worst, these scams can end in the victim's death.
This hasn't happened in Tulsa to my knowledge, but in other communities, we have had reports of teens committing suicide as a result of the stress involved with this kind of scam.
Showman says this has been happening around the country for a while, but Tulsa police first started seeing these scams in March, and they're getting more common. Grant Stevens, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.